Hello, I'll be trying to work as fast as I can on this video, and this way you'll be able to get as many problems as possible. So number one, we have 2x minus 3x squared plus 6 plus 5x cubed. The instructions say put it in standard form, so basically we're looking for the highest exponent first, so 5x cubed is going to go first. It is positive. So I just write 5x cubed. Then x squared is the next one. The negative goes with it, so it is a minus 3x squared. Then this 2x here is positive, so we put plus 2x. And then the 6 is positive. So that's it for that one. Number 2, we have 7 plus 9x plus 2x squared plus 8x to the fifth. Again, looking for the highest exponent, so 8x to the fifth goes first. It is positive, so I just leave it that way. And then x squared is next. Looks like everything's positive here, so I don't even have to worry about that. So that one was a quick and easy one. Alright, the next one, number 3, new instructions, says simplify. Right answers in standard form. So we have 4x squared plus 9x plus 1, all that in parentheses, plus 2x squared plus 7x plus 13. Alright, so I'm just combining like terms here. In this case, these parentheses don't do anything. So essentially we don't even need them, so I'll erase them. We know that they don't do anything because everything's positive and being added. So the 4x squared and the 2x squared combine to be 6x squared. 9 and 9x, 7x is 16x. Again, these are all positive, and 13 plus 1 is 14. Alright, moving on to number 4. Okay, problem number 4 is 8x squared plus 5x plus 7 in parentheses minus 5x squared plus 8x minus 6. Here's one where people make mistakes. This subtraction sign has to be distributed throughout this whole second parentheses. So the first parentheses doesn't do anything. You can just rewrite it without. But the second one, this minus has to apply to everything in the parentheses. So notice it essentially changes the sign of everything in there. When it does that, you don't show it again. So as it applies, you just change everything, and then it's gone. So it changes this to subtraction, changes this to subtraction, changes this to addition, and it's gone. So now we just combine like terms. 8x squared minus 5x squared, 5x minus 8x, and 7 plus 6 is 13. Okay. Number 5. We have 5x to the fourth plus 7x plus 2 minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 9. Again, the first parentheses does nothing, so I'm just going to get rid of them. Second parentheses shows that this subtraction needs to be applied to everything here. So again, once it's applied, it goes away. So changes this to negative, this to positive, this to negative. Now we're combining like terms. These first two are not like terms, so the 5x to the fourth remains by itself. Now we have a minus 3x squared. We have a 7x and a 2x. And we have a 2 and a minus 9, so minus 7. So we're done with that one. Going on to number 6. We have negative 7x cubed plus 4x minus 6 plus 6x cubed plus 10x squared plus 3 Okay, first parentheses, actually neither parentheses is doing anything because there is a plus sign here. So everything retains its original sign. Notice I'm not changing the sign of this second one here. So we have negative 7x cubed plus 6x cubed, so that's a negative x cubed. We have a 10x squared here. We have a plus 4x, that goes with nothing, and then a minus 6 and a plus 3. Alright, moving on to problem number 7. It's negative p times 8p squared plus 3p. So we're just going to distribute this, negative p. The instructions here are simplify, write in standard form. So 8p squared times negative p is negative 8p cubed. And then we have negative p times 3p would be negative 3p squared. Number 8. R plus 8 times R plus 6. This is just a standard FOIL problem. The firsts give you R squared. The outers give you 6R. Inners, lasts is 2448. And then the middles can be combined. So we have R squared plus 14R plus 48. 9. We have 5W minus 6 times 2W plus 7. So the firsts is 5 times 2, which is 10, and then W times W. Outers is 5 times 7, which is 35, times W. Inners, negative 6 times 2 is negative 12, and we have a W. And then lasts is negative 6 times 7, which is negative 42. Again, combining the middles, we have 35 minus 12. It's going to give us 23W minus 42. Number 10. 4s plus 5 times 7s squared minus 4s plus 3. Keep in mind my s's are shorter than my 5s, so try to notice the difference there. This is distributive property again. We can't use FOIL because there's more terms than that. Essentially we have to remember that each term from the first one has to be multiplied to each term from the second, and then also the 5 has to be multiplied to each term in the second as well. So we have 4 times 7 is 28. S times s squared is s cubed. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. S times s is s squared. 4 times 3 is 12. And we have the s. Now we're moving on to the 5. So 5 times 7 is, oops, sorry, it looks like my s's are getting out of hand there. So the 5 times 7 is 35, and then the s squared. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20s. And then 5 times 3 is 15. That's positive. Alright, now combining all like terms, the s cubed is all by itself. We have two squared terms, so a negative 16 plus 35 would be, what is that, 19s squared. And then so I've used those. Now I have a 12s and a negative 20s, so that would be negative 8s. And then a 15. Alright, so moving on to 11. Q minus 1 squared. This is a big opportunity for those of us who aren't paying attention to get this wrong. Remember, this is equal to two binomials here, so it must be FOILed. So Q squared, you have minus q, and then the inners is also minus q, and the outers is plus 1. These do not go away. It's actually q squared minus 2q plus 1. This is not a difference of squares. It is a perfect square trinomial. Perfect square trinomial. All right, moving on to 12. 3g minus 5 and 3g plus 5 multiplied together. This is a difference of squares. It's the binomial going to a difference of squares, so it's going to be 3g times 3g, which is 9g squared. The outers is going to be 15g, and the inners is going to be negative 15g. So these will cancel out, so we don't need them. So the answer is 9g squared minus 25. You'll recognize that from when we factor. Okay, that was 12. So moving on to 13. This is a rectangular campground, has a length of, well, as soon as I read rectangular campground, I'm already going to draw a campground, or a rectangle in this case. Has a length of 4x plus 7, and a width of 3x minus 2. What is the area? Well, area is just length times width, so this is a very simple problem that we're just going to FOIL. So 4 times 3 is 12x squared. Those are the firsts. The outers is 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. Inners is 21x, and then the lasts is negative 14. Combining the middle terms will give us, what is that, 13x minus 14. Done. Alright, moving on to 14. We're finding the greatest common factor of the terms. So we have 16x to the 6th. We have plus 22x squared. Incidentally, this is the first step for factoring completely, although we're not asked to in this case. We're just asked to find the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor, well, 16, 22, and 30, what do they have in common? Well, 16 is 2, 4, 8 is 4 2's, 22 is 1, 2, and an 11, and 30 is a, what is that, 10 and 3, so 2, 3, 5. So it looks like the only thing they have in common is 1, 2, and so we factor out the 2, and they also have 2 x's in common. And so what's left here is 8 and 4 x's. The middle term is a 2, right? So there's 8. A 2, and we grab those 2 x's, so we're done with those. And then the last term is 15. Oh, there's my timer. I'll have to stop this video. 15 and 3 x's. So there's the answer to 14. Click on the next video to watch the next problem.